Gwen, it was suggested that you have more whole grains. So explain to me what you're having for breakfast right now. Because most people, this isn't typically, I don't think it's a breakfast food normally, but you're going to make it one.
Yeah, so, I mean, normally, I've been having, I guess, bread and oatmeal for breakfast. But Inside Tracker just suggested I kind of switch up the type of whole grains that I have. So I'm having this morning some barley. And so I'm just calling it a barley oatmeal, but I'm just treating it just like I would my regular oatmeal. But it's a different type of whole grain than I'm used to having, so I get different, nutrients from it, good fiber.
What are you adding here?
I'm just adding some roasted macadamia nut butter. So another thing that I'm supposed to do is incorporate. We have a lot of nuts, but I would say we don't really switch up our type of nuts often, do we? A lot of times we're just having like cashews
and walnuts.
And so just getting a different type of nut. Nuts have a lot of, what do they have, Pat?
Well, I think for you, it's just a calorie-dense food is the big one.
Well, no, they have
Will you add any sort of
stuff?
Will you add any sort of sweetener?
I'm gonna test it.
Okay, try it.
I mean, I have banana. Is that a sweetener? Very good.
You're gonna leave it as is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Great texture. So macadamia nuts are, they have fiber, which all nuts do, and they're full of antioxidants. But yeah, a lot of switching up your nuts helps with lowering your bad cholesterol, and has omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin E. So that's why we like to switch them up. So I had an Inside.
It's a very nice little snack.
Yes. So I was going to get into this, but Inside Tracker blood work done since moving to altitude, and it's really been nice to have that, and it's something that anyone can get done, and I recommend getting it done even if you aren't an athlete, at least once a year. I like to get my blood work done
I really want to know my inner age.
Yes.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
I mean, I know I'm young
you can
at
get
heart.
A free inner age, and
that's what I'd like to do.
And there's a what's it called, coupon code in the description. But yeah, it's been really great. I actually have it up on my computer right now, and I can see, what was lacking, what I need to work on. So I needed to work on magnesium, B12, some more good fats into my diet. What this snack that I made you is actually from the Inside Tracker app. They gave a recommendation of what to make, and it's just a fun little trail mix with a bunch of different nuts, popcorn, dark chocolate. So I'm glad you enjoy it.
I just think it's great. Okay, but for lunch, we're really going to hit the B12 hard. I've got a recipe for that. I'm going to bring you in.
You're going to teach me how to make it because it's one of my favorite meals.
Right.
So I want to learn how to make it, but
perfect.
Yeah, I think B12 is something that, and magnesium is something that a lot of people struggle getting enough in. So yeah, that'll be fun. And have you enjoyed getting recommendations of what to cook from the app?
I always like it because all I need to see is I don't need to see recipes. I just need to see food. So
ideas.
You toss one in there, B12, fish, any of those types of things, and then I go, I can then roll with that really easily. So I think for me, it just tosses up a few food groups, and I go, okay, I can make that, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
No problem. So, but this popcorn's unbelievable.
Yeah, so hope you guys are enjoying what we're eating in a day. It's really, food for me is all about performance and recovery and optimizing, just optimizing everything.
And then just a couple questions for the audience so they can get some context. Do you count calories?
Never count calories.
No, you don't count calories. No. So you're just kind of looking at you'll kind of look at stuff more from what you need from a session. So if you've got a lighter day, you'll go a little bit lighter on food. But when you've got big stuff coming
I
up.
don't really do that. I think.
But you'll carb up when you got a big session coming.
Yeah, when I know I got a big session coming, I'll carb up, and I think I get all the extra calories in because when I have hard sessions, I use so much scratch and super fuel, and bars and that sort of thing, which I, on an easy day, I don't have as much. So I guess I do kind of fuel up that way, but I'd say like, I do not like purposely eat less food
Right.
on an easy day.
Right.
A lot of times I feel like as an athlete, you're almost playing catch up, and like your body's recovering during that time, and it does still need the fuel.
But like the other day we did like a big beef roast, and that was on the back of a day where you were looking for recovery post race. So we like loaded it up, super high protein, really calorie dense, and we like we hit it hard that day as well. So I think we are aware of like the sessions that you're doing, and then trying to fuel those, and then also create and inspire the adaptation from those as well.
Yeah. And you're mostly the chef, so.
Right. Yeah, okay, cool. Awesome. Let's get working on lunch.
Okay. All right, Pat.
I don't believe my eyes.
What?
You got your apron on. You're making lunch. Now.
I've been making lunch a lot lately. Give me some credit.
Okay, I'll give you some credit, but you're really cooking lunch today. You're going for it. Yeah. So we're kind of doubling up on the carbs today. Hitting the carbs, hitting the proteins a little bit harder. What do we have? What are you making?
Well, you're going to walk me through how to make the butternut squash pasta is what we call it, but it's a butternut squash sauce that goes on top of pasta.
Yeah. So this is almost like kind of like a fettuccine or mac and cheese-esque.
Like a vegan
Yes,
one,
vegan one. Yep. But I did get a rotisserie chicken that I'm going to add to it today for myself. So, okay, so for the sauce, and I'm not really going to give these are rough calculations. I've got we'll call it a cup and a half of cashews that have been soaked for a couple hours. Okay? So we've got that. And then can you come over here? And I would bring the blender with you because you're going to drop those in. Those are hot. These are the butternut squash.
Butternut squash cooked. You roasted them with what's inside there.
I mean, that's just a bunch of garlic, salt, and pepper right there.
It's a lot of pepper. And put them in whole with the skin on.
With the skin on.
Both of them.
Yep, in the blender. In the blender. Yeah, well, I told you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I want you to take that olive oil. Or no, walnut oil, rather.
Could we do olive oil if we wanted?
You could. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
And give it a generous splash. Yep. Keep going. Yep. All right, that's good. How much do you think that was? You and I really differ. I think a couple tablespoons.
No, I don't think it was that much.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was less.
Okay, then I'd like you to undo that entire top of nutritional yeast.
Nutritional yeast. This has B12 in it, and like in one serving, which is 2 tablespoons, it has 630% of your vitamin B12. And B12 is kind of hard to find, but so a lot of people take supplements, but if you guys haven't ever tried nutritional yeast, we love it.
And this is what really gives it kind of almost the cheesy flavor.
Yeah, a lot of vegans use this.
You're gonna dump that whole thing in.
All of it. Look at that's
It's a lot.
That's maybe a
cup.
close to a cup.
Dump the whole thing. Whole thing.
Okay.
Yep. There you go. Whole thing. Okay. So then what I want you to do is I want you to
gotten some more at the store.
Yep. That would have been a great idea. Then what I'd like you to do is a really healthy dash of sage. And sage, that I would say that really just kind of gives the sauce like some earthy tones. Yeah, go. Yep, even more. There you go. Perfect. Okay. And then nutmeg.
I love the nutmeg in this. You've made it without nutmeg before? But nutmeg is very strong, so just a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little pop.
Okay, you tell me.
I mean, just kind of like, that's enough. Yep.
Okay.
And then, so now I've got vegetable broth. That'll just add a little bit of depth. You can do quite a bit of that in there because this is,
Needs more sauce.
Yeah, we're going to need some juice in there.
Tell me when.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Go. All the way. Yep. Yeah, keep going.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that basically all of it? Yeah, there you go. Okay. So
but
how
this
full?
Is not full.
That was half full, do you think?
Maybe.
And then now remember, we've already done a generous salt
and
pepper, and garlic. Okay.
Yep.
So then you're gonna
blend it up.
You're gonna hit that hard in the Vitamix now.
All right. We'll probably don't have to watch that.
Perfect. That'd be so loud. Gwen, tell us what's going on. Show us the consistency.
Smells really good. So yes, it's like a sauce. It's kind of how you want it.
Yep. I think the consistency looks great.
I do too.
Okay. Now what about the flavor? No, it's hot. Be careful.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Okay. All right. So and you blended that you got to really blend that up. And if you need to, just add more liquid. It could be water, vegetable broth, whatever you want.
That's perfect.
Okay. We'll touch base about the noodles. Yep. Gwen,
Yep.
what are we doing here?
Well, we just cooked noodles, as the package says. Added the sauce to the noodles, stirred, and now we're just adding in some fresh parsley just because I need something green in every meal, and parsley's a great garnish.
Now, I mean, this is a lot of ingredient. We'll call it lunch, but I mean, it's very, very simple. I mean, this is something you go out for your morning run. You put the squash in at 300 degrees, let it cook for 2.5 or 3 hours.
It looks like you have a nice creamy mac and cheese.
Yeah, and it looks. I mean, it's just beautiful. So I think this is like warm, like cool weather comfort food almost easily.
Yes, and it has all the nutrients in there. There's nuts with healthy fats. There's the B12. There's basically has everything.
Yep.
You kind of need.
Yeah, and it'll fuel your day. And then we've got some chicken to go with it. You've also got some shrimp and a salad and a really nice little lunch.
Yeah, that's what I'll eat today.
Perfect.
So tonight, Pat, you made a pesto pasta, and we're having pesto because one of the things I've learned from my insider tracker is that I need to incorporate more nuts. This almost helps everything that I was a little bit lacking on. So it helps my HDL, my triglycerides, my ALT, my magnesium, everything. So the pesto was a recommendation, and it gave us a recipe to make the pesto, but I think you actually used your own recipe, didn't you? Can you tell us what you put in it?
A whole bushel of basil,
Yep.
parsley, toasted walnuts, 2 lemons, lots of olive oil, little nutritional yeast, boost of B12.
Which I need, yep.
And then obviously
Nuts?
just salt and pepper. Tons of walnuts, I said, yeah.
Yes, and
then
then
I just blend that up in the Vitamix like crazy, and then I've got another situation of stir-fried veg right there.
yeah, and you put in the olive oil, which is another recommendation for me on my inside tracker, to incorporate more olive oil. So
Just because I'm curious, tell me about these noodles.
these are bucatini noodles, which are basically the only noodle type that I will eat regular, right?
And when you say
They're my
regular,
favorite. They're
and when
my-
you say regular, you mean these are pasta noodles,
Pasta noodles, yes.
not gluten-free.
Yeah, no, and I love bucatini noodles. I think they are the most underrated pasta there is.
Probably in the world.
Oh yeah, by everyone.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we're having that, and then we always kind of make a big pot of pasta with just the sauce. Because Stanley normally doesn't like to incorporate. He'll eat broccoli, but he doesn't so much incorporate the other vegetables. But there's Pat puts so many good.
Oh, you know what I did in here as well
parsley
tonight? I did a
and-
bunch of I did broccoli as well in the sauce.
Yeah, so a lot of times, Pat, you'll blend in with the sauce to help Stanley get those nutrients in. Spinach and broccoli, and obviously the basil and all that stuff has good nutrients for him too. So yeah, we kind of eat separate like this, but we put it all together on the plate and enjoy.